Broadcasting around the world on the World Wide Web.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Oh yeah. Broadcasting live from the Josie Network studios in downtown Medina, Tennessee. It's that time of week again. It's time for the Josie Show. Bringing you the most exciting music news and guests from around the world. Right here on the Josie Show. Please make welcome the beautiful, the talented, the lovely, America's radio sweetheart, Mrs. Josie Passantino Boone.
Welcome back to the Josie Show. I'm Josie Passantino Boone, and we have a very special guest today. I am so excited. You all, I'm sure, know and love him, formerly from the band O-Town. He was on Broadway, and so much more. I'm talking about Ashley Parker Angel. I am so thrilled that I had the opportunity to chat with him, and I hope you all enjoyed this interview. We're going to get right into it. Here we go. Please welcome to the Josie Show, my guest, Ashley Parker Angel. Hi.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm so excited to be a part of it.
Oh, I have been looking forward to this because you have so many exciting things going on right now in your world, including the Making the Brand nationwide tour. You're visiting 700 GNC stores across the country. My goodness. Tell us more about this tour for those who may not be in the know.
Yeah, no, we're calling it the Making the Brand Tour, which is a playoff of the hit TV show Making the Band, which launched my career. And, it's kind of it's a way to get out into these communities, into these local, places. I've actually crisscrossed the country so much in my music career. So I've been to a lot of these places, but now in sort of this whole new chapter I've been in, kicking off this health and wellness journey, which was really years in the making, like everything in life. But I launched a medical grade supplement company called High Level Science. I partnered with a world-renowned cardiologist named Dr. David Ryzik. And what I love about the GNC is that you get a free consultation with their coaches. So I've been posting times, posting the itinerary, meeting up with people. It's been awesome.
Oh, that's so much fun. I bet you're having such a great experience, meeting so many great artists, great people, fans who have followed you on your journey as an artist personally, but then also you're able to really talk about high level science, which is such a great commitment that you're trying to help us live our best lives. And it's just such an incredible thing. And what gap in the supplement industry were you hoping to fill with high level science?
A lot of it is born from my own personal frustration to find quality and to find purity. And I also think in general, Josie, I think there's a lot of confusion in the supplement space. Like every time you open social media or you watch TV, we get ads all the time. Take this and take that. There's thousands of things out there. So the whole mission behind High Level Science and why I partnered with Dr. Ryzik, who, he's someone that's, he's published 150 different papers. He's actually changed medicine on a global level. He's won 3 Emmy Awards. He's a doctor that'll tell you most supplements are overhyped. They're overly marketed. They overpromise and they underdeliver. So what we're about at High Level Science is really putting science back into supplementation. We don't offer a lot, but the things that we do offer are backed by years of medical research and science. So people have the confidence that they know it's going to do what it says it's going to do.
I love that. And people can definitely check it out at your website, livehighlevel.com, right?
Yeah, livehighlevel.com. We've launched just recently. We've only been around for a couple years, but it was really honestly 20 years of navigating an entertainment career. I'm so grateful. I launched my career on a TV show called Making the Band, had a band called O-Town, went solo, sold 10 million records, had 2 hit TV shows. I've been around the block. I pivoted out of that into starring roles on Broadway, Wicked the musical, Hairspray the musical. And I was always really into health and wellness and fitness. And I was always hiring the best. And fitness coaches and nutritionists and peak performance coaches. So I guess you could say, I learned a thing or two about how to take
Yeah.
care of the body and the mind, because especially when you do Broadway, you do 8 shows a week and you do
Mhm.
a year-long contract. I did that for 4 years of my life. And so I learned a lot about the power of proper supplementation.
Yes, and both really high energy shows that you were a part of on Broadway as well, which I'm sure, I mean, you had to be dancing through life, literally. Each of
Yes.
the, so it was quite a lot. So do you feel like during those times you really had, some mental and physical exhaustion at that time?
Yeah. And I think, a lot of artists have spoken to this. When you're living life on the road,
Yeah.
you're always living out of a suitcase, right? You're always kind of far away from your family and your loved ones. It's a very challenging path. And by the way, I also say I'm so grateful for that time because it allowed me to do amazing things. I'm a kid from a small town. I grew up in Redding, California, which is a real small town in Northern California, very salt of the earth upbringing. Never thought that I would end up even being, an actor and a singer and doing all the things that I did. I'm so grateful for it. But I looked around at a certain point, Josie, and I saw there was also a lot of unhealthy coping mechanisms happening in the entertainment industry due to that stress and that pressure. And I think it also is accelerated if you become famous as a young person. I always say you don't get an instruction manual on how to deal with being famous. And in our case, it kind of happened overnight.
So true. So true. You're really catapulted into it, honestly, at that time. And you were so young. So I'm sure it was really difficult navigating that. And also, behind the fame and the glitz and glamour and all that from O-Town, you're also at the end of the day a human. You have human emotions. I mean, anxiety, burnout. I mean, that stuff that will happen anytime. So I think it's wonderful how you are so open with sharing your personal health and wellness journey and hopefully helping others along the way on their journeys as well. It's great.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. At 20 years of doing it, I realized I could change someone's life for an hour or two on stage
Mhm.
each night as a performer. But through teaching people health and wellness, I could really help change their life forever. So it's been really satisfying chapter of my life.
Yes, that is so exciting. And everyone, please make sure you check out High Level Science and read more about it at livehighlevel.com. And working with a cardiologist, were you really able to be hands on? And did you learn some things about health that maybe you didn't know before?
Yeah, well, when I turned 42 years old, I got some blood work done and I had really high cholesterol and really high blood pressure. This is a story I'm sure a lot of the listeners can relate to this. This starts to happen, right? Especially if you go get that blood work done, which I think everybody should be doing.
Sure.
But I had been working with a local doctor that said, you should probably take statin drugs. And while
Uh,
they have their place, I felt
mhm.
too young. I was like, I'm only 42 years old. So
Exactly. Yeah.
it really kicked off a journey for me to find a global heart expert. I found Dr. David Ryzik through a lot of my personal research I had done. Long story short, he
Mhm.
became my personal doctor, and he was like, "Look, if you start taking, high quality omega 3s, for example, CoQ10, vitamin E. These are ingredients that have years, decades of research behind them. The issue nowadays is finding purity and quality, and we talk a lot in our society about ultra processed food. And
Yeah.
we're in the generation where we're now reading the ingredients and we're seeing this has artificial colors in it. This has preservatives and chemicals. And so
Mhm.
unfortunately, that also exists in the supplement world. And so I partnered with him. We launched a product called Heart, Body, and Mind, which is our flagship product for both men and women. And I've been taking it for a year now. I'm so passionate about it because I've been the guinea pig, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um, and I've been in a lot of ways America's guinea pig because I've taken so many supplements and been so disappointed through the years. But I've been
Right.
taking it now for a year and I've completely improved my cardiovascular health. And I try to do a lot to bring attention to heart disease because we
Mhm.
are very much talking about cancer a lot of the time. Well,
Mhm.
if you dig into it, you find out that heart disease is actually the number one killer of both men and women. And
Yeah.
the age related things, the things that start to happen with heart disease can start in your 30s and 40s, honestly.
Yep. It's so interesting. And, it's great that, we all learn the facts and learn a little bit more about our bodies so we can prevent a lot of things that don't need to happen to us. You know what I mean? And I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, preventatives. And I just think that's so wonderful that you're doing this and you're bringing it to GNC stores across the country. You're visiting with fans. You're also sharing more about this product. And where will you be next for those who are interested in finding you on this tour?
I say follow me on social media. If you just
Yes.
type in my name, Ashley Parker Angel, you'll find me at Ashley Parker Angel on all different social media channels. And people can also go to our main Instagram page is at Live High Level. And that's where we post the schedule and the itinerary. But it's also, I think we're also, especially after COVID, we
Mhm.
are, as a culture, we are getting out into the real world more. There are people that want to be in the community. That's why I also love live shows so much. And of course, having
Yeah.
that as a background, I love going to see live shows. But people are doing more outside of that. Their run clubs are a big thing right now. People are
Mhm.
doing in-person wellness retreats. And so part of what I'm doing, we just did a pop-up event at a GNC in New York City. We did live karaoke. Everybody
Oh,
came down. We were like singing boy band songs. We were doing
love it.
songs from Wicked and Harris Broadway show tunes. It's an awesome way to again get into the community in these local areas. And a lot of people don't know that at GNC, the coaches there are so knowledgeable. You're going to get a free
Mhm.
consultation, and you're going to get somebody that's really very well versed and knowledgeable in helping you figure out what you need to dial in your supplement game. And I talk to people every day, Josie. I'm sure you do too, that just say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I just don't wake up feeling the same way I did anymore. I just
Hmm.
I don't have that energy, or my mood is off, or my memory seems to be slipping." A lot of that, honestly, is a really understanding of replacing the vital nutrients that do get stripped through the aging process, the stresses of life, the toxic food and water, whatever it is. Even
Right.
if you ate a quote perfectly healthy diet, you still have to fill in those nutritional gaps, and that's where understanding proper supplementation comes in. And then it's an easy fix to a certain degree when you find a high quality product like the kind we offer at High Level Science, because then you just remember to take your supplements, in the morning. You remember to take them
Exactly.
with dinner,
Set an alarm on your phone. That's what I do.
right?
It's super easy. I
Uh,
love that. I love that. And another thing I really want to talk about because I personally seen and I thought it was very interesting because you can kind of get a deeper look into the artists and the bands, in particular that we know and love. You were featured in Joey Fatone of NSYNC's new ID docu series, Boy Band Confidential, which is out now on HBO Max for everyone that's interested. Was there a moment during filming that brought back any memories that you hadn't thought about maybe in years? What was that experience like?
Oh yeah, definitely. And for those that haven't seen it, it's streaming on HBO Max and also on the ID channel. And it's 25 boy band members. You've got Boys to Men, 98 Degrees, members of NSYNC and Backstreet and O Town. And yeah, I opened up and I share a lot about my experiences navigating fame and overnight success in the entertainment world when I was 18 years old and I was working nonstop. And I had a
Mhm.
moment when I turned, I would say 25 or 26, and I had the quarter life crisis,
Yeah.
which is a very common thing for many people. And I really, honestly, I just was so identified at that point in time with the external success of chasing the next big hit song, the next big hit in my career. And again, my career took me so far away from my family. I
Mhm.
really had this like quarter life crisis where I was really kind of hit a wall. I was doing 8 shows a week. I was starring as Link Larkin in Hairspray the musical. And
Yeah.
I talk a lot about mental health because we are, as a generation, we are opening up more and having these conversations now. Like, for example, you have current music artists, they'll just take a mental health break. Like, we didn't have that in the millennial
Yeah,
generation.
no.
You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. Oh, we need it. We really, really do. And I love how open you are about mental health in particular, because I've always been very open, on my channel about, having OCD and anxiety and depression. I mean, I've dealt with this my entire life, and I love that more people are talking about it, especially using their voices from a platform, like you have. You can reach so many more people. You know what I mean? And I think
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the voice really, really matters because there's so many young kids out there that are listening to us and they're like, is this normal? Am I alone in this? And it's great for them to hear that they are not alone. So thank you for sharing always.
And thank you, because I completely agree. And you never know
Yeah.
when that person that might be in that place hears that
Hmm.
they're not alone. You are not alone. This is a very common issue and challenge that people have. And so I'm also grateful we can talk really openly about it nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's it's kind of why I looked around the entertainment industry, and there's a lot of incredible, glamorous things about the entertainment industry. And then
Right.
on the backside of it, there's this underbelly where you do look at a lot of child stars or people that grew up in the spotlight from when they're young, and if
Sure.
they don't have healthy, positive coping mechanisms, unfortunately, people can cope in really negative ways. And I saw that going on all around me, and I
Hmm.
was really grateful that I kind of leaned really hard at that point in time in my life into health and well-being routines, and I honestly feel like it saved my life.
Absolutely, it did. I definitely agree.
Thank you. I learned a lot because I'm somebody that's hired a lot of coaches, and I know not
Sure.
necessarily everybody has access to that knowledge. I learned a lot about, for example, there was a recent study that 70% of the U.S. population is deficient
Hmm.
in omega 3s, which are essential fatty acids that play such an important role in how your brain functions,
Huge. Yeah.
in your mental health and in your mood. And
Mhm.
again, we don't get these things just through diet alone. And so I'm glad I can be on this path now of talking health and wellness, because it's really been resonating with people. We're learning more now than ever, and we are in a different place than our parents and grandparents were in terms of
Yes.
understanding what works.
Yes, absolutely. We learn every day. We really do. It's all a
Yeah.
learning process, for everybody. And yes, I love what you do. And everyone, please make sure you go and follow Ashley Parker Angel on all of the social media that you have out there, so you can stay in the know of where he'll be next at GNC stores near you. And before we go, what advice would you give to young artists entering the music industry based on what you've learned that you wish you would have known maybe during your time in O Town? What is some great advice that you would give to the youngsters out there today?
That's such a great question. And I
Yeah.
think if you get swept up with, in terms of your entire identity being uh, totally attached to that external validation, that look, as a young performer, you want that external validation. You want to get the record deal. You want to have the hit song. If you're pursuing acting, you want to get that big breakout role. And I think something that happened along the way for me was just realizing it's so important to have a balanced life outside of that. And I think as I look back on it now, I just realized that I didn't really create any boundaries to make sure that I had stayed much closer, I wish, during that time with my family, with my loved ones. There's a lot of travel involved. And so I think having like a healthy balance and a healthy life outside of your entertainment pursuits, I think is really important to stay grounded, like you said.
Oh, so important. Well said. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story, sharing high level science with us, and just thank you so much for doing what you do and keep spreading the great word. And I just really appreciate it. And I'm a fan, so I would love to have you back on anytime.
Yeah, right back at you. You're the best. We'll do it again, Josie.
Oh, you too, Ashley Parker Angel. Everyone, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
That was such a wonderful conversation. I'm so excited that Ashley Parker Angel joined me today. And thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the interview as much as I did. See y'all next time. Bye bye.